Make sure you don't miss a thing. Go to starzology.com/newsletter and sign up. Welcome to the Starzology Astrology Podcast. I'm your host, Alison Price, and I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Arwynne O'Neill.
Hello, Alison. It's great to be here.
So nice to have you once more. So in this episode, we're going to be looking at the November 2025 Overarch.
Yeah.
So we're going to be looking at what's happening in November 2025. And specifically, we're going to be looking at the planets changing signs, ingresses. We're going to be looking at stations as well, and any lunations. So we'll be having a little chat about that, just to give a general overview of what's going on in the month.
Sounds great.
Yeah. So the first major event for November is actually going to be Mars is entering Sagittarius.
Yeah. November 4th.
Yes. No, on the November the 4th. So I'm calling this action adventure.
I love it. Yeah.
So this ingress electrifies action with expansive adventure, and it may unleash bold philosophical energy, propelling people towards grand explorations, intellectual conquests, and transformative experiences.
I love it. I love it. I love Mars in a fire sign.
Yeah.
And of course, Mars in Scorpio, which is where we've been up until November 4th, is great because it's one of its own signs.
That's right.
But Mars entering a fire sign is always, it's always kind of a boost. I think Mars in Scorpio is more investigative and sort of exploratory and intellectual, and it's kind of a deeper, kind of darker Mars. But Mars in Sagittarius is just so bright and sunny and exploratory and
it's sort of uplifting, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a good one.
I'm quite looking forward to it too. Yeah. Some further thoughts are that restless enthusiasm drives dynamic risk-taking to challenge your personal limitations and expand your horizons.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that. And since Mars is one of the, what is it? Is it one of the relationship? Mars and Venus, it's one of the relationship planets. So if you are on the dating apps, if you're on the dating scene, if you're, at the dog park trying to make a love connection, Mars and Sagittarius could be a great boost for you, because I we're not on the dating scene. I've been in a relationship forever. Yeah. And, from what I hear, the dating scene is,
fraught.
Apocalyptic. I don't know. Yeah. Fraught. That's a great word. But yeah, so this could be a great boost of optimism and a sense of adventure, and kind of like, let's give it a try, which is, that's some what you optimism. Want at the beginning of a relationship. You want a sense of optimism, a sense of like, let's just give it a try.
Right. Well, there you go for it. So, And then also a philosophical passion is likely to emerge with any courageous impetus to inspire a thoughtful journey and the possibility of your further spiritual discovery.
Love it.
Because it is Sagittarius, and that is it's you want to explore things and stretch yourself a little bit. And
and it's not just what gets you off the couch. It's what gets you fired up about anything, intellectual things, books that you are suddenly feverish about. Yeah. Discovering different languages or
thought leadership.
Thought leadership, exactly. Studying new things, new ways that you can learn to use AI or whatever kind of intellectual rabbit holes you want to go down. So this could be super interesting surge of intellectual fervor.
Yeah, so because it's
whatever interests you,
and because it's happening so early in the month, we're going to have this energy throughout the whole of November.
Yeah,
and actually into December as well. But it's upbeat. I like it. It's upbeat.
Yeah.
So we're quite happy about that. I've just got some thoughts here also on Mars's qualities, which is Mars is masculine, and Mars competes, challenges, and acts.
Yeah.
So where this is in your chart, you're going to, want to take a chance.
Yeah.
Step into the arena.
Yeah.
Things like that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's our first ingress that we have there. And then on the next day, November the 5th, we've got the full moon in Taurus.
Yes.
So here I'm suggesting steady fulfillment. This is always a good time to have a dinner party when the full moon's in Taurus, because as it rises on the horizon, it's a good position.
Yeah.
Yeah. or to share a meal with friends and family this month when the moon rises in the evening sky, and bring together persons of value and those whom you feel have consistently fed your emotional states and not brought drama.
Yeah. This is a focus on stability, on value, on comfort, on stability, on things that make you feel loved and warm and cocooned in that Taurian way. Things that make you feel like your soul is being fed.
That's a great way of putting it. Yeah. This full moon in Taurus is great. Yeah. So that's kind of interesting too. And because the moon is exalted in Taurus, so it's really well placed. And this is the same for the reason for what we've just said, that it's going to, I want to say, it's going to feed you if you're paying attention. And not necessarily just food, but also, the cocooning. I think that's a great
feed
time.
Your soul.
Yes. So that's actually going to be at 13 degrees Taurus. So anyone who's got a birthday on that day or the day before, the day after, this will be baked into their solar return as well, the full moon pattern.
Or anything at 13 Taurus in their chart.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
because full moon shows the light, because the light of the moon is full and we can see into every nook and cranny. We don't have to like everything, but we are aware of what's really going on. So that's kind of the full moon energy there.
It'd be interesting to see if any, not to bring a mundane astrology into this conversation, but it'd be interesting to see if any politicians on the scene right now, or anyone on the public scene, has anything at 13 degrees Taurus, and if anything will be lit up by that full moon.
That full moon, well, this is it. So if you've got anything there at that full moon position, you're going to see it. So that's great. And then the next day, November the 6th, Venus enters Scorpio. So it's going from Libra, where it's beautifully positioned, into Scorpio, where it's not so well positioned. So here I'm saying deep love. And my thoughts are, get ready for some deep and even dangerous romantic liaisons as Venus enters Scorpio. Temptation will be around every corner, and your faithfulness can be challenged now. New romances will begin deep and daring, so avoid adding more unwanted debt to your credit cards. Pay back financial commitments now. This is a great time to pay down your debts before we hit the Christmas season, because Venus tends to rule money too. But this business of flirting and being asked, are you going to take a chance on me? And you may your faithfulness to your partner may be tested at this time.
And your faithfulness to your partner may be tested by your partner. Your partner may investigate and grill you about, well, what were you doing flirting with this other person? You were talking at the party. What was that about? Or you've got this text that I don't recognize, or, who's this package from? Blah, blah, blah. These kinds of investigations. So an intensification of those types of relationship conversations can be had, whether you're single or in a partnership already. Expect to have those deep conversations that may or may not be comfortable.
That's right. And you may find out things that you,
Don't ask the question that you don't want the answer to.
There you go.
Spoken like a true Scorpio.
And just some thoughts on Venus in general. So Venus is feminine. Venus loves, acquires, and appreciates. And Venus represents young women, girlfriends, sweethearts, and accountants. So there you have it.
And Scorpio, of course, represents, the Batman. I don't know. The scorpion, the eagle, the phoenix rising from the ashes. It's like, don't make a commitment unless it's to the death. That kind of.
But this is a trick. This is a tricky time when Venus is in Scorpio, because you may do so and then,
oh, oops, I didn't know.
What do they say? Marry in haste and repent at leisure. So there's your saying on that one. So that's Venus moving into Scorpio on November the 6th. And then 2 days later, we've got Uranus is going retrograde in Taurus. So we're going to be reviewing our originality here, or your genius, or whatever it is. So Uranus is still retrograde, will re-enter Taurus, because it's retrograde at the moment in Gemini, but it's going back into Taurus for the very last time for this little hit here. And it won't be going back into Taurus for over 80 years. And it'll be in the fixed earth sign of the bull for about 5 months, and then it goes back into Gemini again.
Yeah. So since Uranus is entering Taurus and Venus is entering Scorpio. Oh, no. Okay. They're at the opposite ends of the signs. Yes. No. Yeah. Cool. We don't have to delete that, but it's a good check. I was like, are they going to be opposing each other? No, they're not. They're not. They're at opposite ends, but yeah.
So that's Uranus's last go at cybercurrency and or whatever is going on there.
Yeah, the grain supply or the food supply
yes.
Starving people in different places that are war-torn, etc.
I know. Yeah. Food instability, insecurity. Yeah. So that's going to be a topic that's going to pop up once more.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, and then the very next day, busy month. Mercury, on November the 9th, Mercury stationing retrograde at 5 degrees Sagittarius.
Yeah.
So this is Mercury's third retrograde period for this year.
Third and final?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mercury's retrograde in general 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And at the moment it's in the fire sign. So it's stationing at 5 degrees Sagittarius. So I'm calling this clearly a turning point, which it is because it's going retrograde. And I suggest keep up to date with emails and make sure everyone knows what's going on.
Yeah.
You could meet potentially a life-changing person who perhaps will be seen as a guru, coach, or guide for you. And always maintain an open mind as you navigate multiple conversations which spark your curiosity.
Yeah. And definitely, I would say, approach with caution if you're thinking someone's a guru at the beginning of the month. Wait until the retrograde phase has passed, because if it goes retrograde in Sagittarius and it moves back into Scorpio, that guru may not turn out to be in your best interest and heart.
A false prophet, could we even say?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And gurus can mean anything. It doesn't have to be a religious cult leader. It could be a tech bro. It could be
a guide, inspiration.
An inspirational boss figure. Leading some tech revolution or AI, whatever. It can be whoever you think has their finger on the pulse of the stock market, and you're following their YouTube channel and they're telling you this or that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Proceed with caution.
Yeah. But in general, when Mercury's retrograde, it's all about just holding off on signing documents. Yeah.
And doing your research and dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's.
Yes.
Yes, that's the right way to say that.
Yes. So you want to make sure that you're not signing contracts if possible. So we don't want to be buying houses or sign. What other contracts would you sign? I don't know, an antinuptial contract, but maybe, or whatever it is. So just rather avoid it if possible and during this time.
Yeah.
But if you're a writer, this is the best time to review your work.
I was going to say something very similar to that, which is that this is just the time where everyone else in the zodiac gets to understand what it's like to be a Virgo all the time. Because Mercury retrograde, I feel it doesn't affect Virgos quite the same way as it affects everyone else. I used to have a friend who was a Gemini, and every time it was Mercury retrograde, she would somehow feel it. She'd be like, oh my God, all my stuff is blowing up. I don't know what's happening. Is Mercury retrograde? And I would check it. Inevitably, it would be. And I would just feel kind of more comfortable all of a sudden, like, okay, the world has slowed down to the point where everyone is actually paying attention to their stuff now. And I can just kind of relax because I know that other people are actually being as conscientious as they should be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Double checking the details and doing that. Yeah.
It just comes natural to a Virgo.
Yes. And this is great. So Mercury's retrograde in Sagittarius. So, and the thing is too, if you've got Mercury retrograde natally, as I do, you find that you can withstand these Mercury retrograde periods better than your average person who's got Mercury direct in the natal chart.
Yeah.
So that's always something it's something I've always believed because I have it and I see it. It helps me to review, what's the word? Regirth. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sort things out, plan our future podcast episodes and go back and say, well, let me sort this calendar out because I clearly messed it up. And things like that. So you can go back and sort out what you're doing, when you're doing it, and make all different appointments and so on. Yeah. So that's a great thing, as Mercury is going to be retrograde in Sagittarius.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so then on the 11th, Jupiter stations retrograde. Now, Jupiter's at 25 Cancer. So Jupiter and all the outer planets are retrograde once every year. So this is Jupiter's retrograde period. And I'm saying here, optimism slows down.
Yeah.
So I'm suggesting that it's a time to scale back on your most outrageous plans and getting realistic about what you can and cannot achieve.
Yeah.
If you have overcommitted yourself in the past, now you may have to rescind offers to do things or help others because you just can't cope with it. And this phase can serve as a reality check, prompting you to reassess your priorities and focus on what truly aligns with your capabilities and goals.
Yeah.
Because we may all say, oh, yes, I'll babysit your kids every Saturday for the winter. And then you think, what did I say? Because you just can't.
Now you've met someone, or wait a minute, I have.
What am I thinking?
This show on Netflix I'm obsessed with.
Or you've got other commitments and it's a time to reassess what you said you would do.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have these things.
I mean, maybe the children are a nightmare and gosh.
Well, yes. Yes.
But,
so whatever it is that we've overextended ourselves on, saying, yes, I'm going to run 5Ks every day for a month.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be commitments to other people. It can be commitments to yourself for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in targets you may have put that are just outrageous.
Yeah.
Outrageous. So you've got to scale it back and get real.
That winter fitness plan where you were so optimistic making it in the beginning of the fall and then all of a sudden it's dark and rainy and wet.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I will not run 3 times a week.
No, not in the rain.
Outside. No. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Jupiter stationary retrograde, so that's fine there.
Yeah.
And then on November the 19th, Mercury's re-entering Scorpio retrograde. So it's still retrograde. It's gone through Sagittarius. It's now going back into Scorpio.
Yeah.
Revisit relics of the past. So again, expect to be discussing private matters. Others are likely to tell you excruciatingly intimate information that you wish you'd never heard. And watch out about giving your powers away by providing too much personal information to all and sundry.
Yeah.
You need to play your cards closer to your chest at this time, but it's the urge is to blurt the truth.
Yeah.
But it could be to your disadvantage. So
watch out for that overshare hangover.
Yeah, too much information. Yeah, we don't need to know whatever it was that's going on. But it's very easy to do when Mercury's in Scorpio because you're digging deep and saying, well, if I told her the real reason why I can't do this, and you think, I wish I didn't know that, you know.
Or they can use it against you.
Well, exactly. Yeah. You're giving away your power, so don't do that. Yeah. And then moving on, November the 20th, we've got the new moon in Scorpio.
Yeah.
So focus now. This can be a moment when you notice who is secretly supporting you in a quiet way. Strangers may easily become allies if you pay close attention to the emotional energy swirling around situations. And lean into any feelings of nostalgia with people, as this mood will be significant for you now. So the moon in Scorpio is not in a particularly good place. It's in its fall. You're emotionally, it's going deep. I don't want to say it, there may be tears.
Yeah.
But if people are supporting you, your secret supporters are always in Scorpio.
Right.
And they may come forward. It might be a woman who comes forward because it is the moon who is actually going to give you a leg up or support or a hint about some way to take your life.
Yeah. And that new moon wishing thing that people do.
Yeah.
If it's in Scorpio, you can set intentions for depth, transformation, investigative, integrity, uncovering hidden aspects of life and truth that will enrich your life and help you live a more aligned, more truthful, more honest, more
even with yourself, you see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of new moon wishing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are going to be links below this podcast to that one we did on new moon wishing as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in general, a new moon is a start. It's the start of the month, and it's a time to begin something new and fresh.
Yeah.
Something Scorpionic new and fresh. So yeah. Cool. Good thing.
Yeah.
And then moving on November the 20th, we've got an aspect. Uranus is sextile Neptune. So anyway, Uranus will be sextile Neptune. So these are two big outer planets making this aspect. this is the exact date for one of the Uranus sextile Neptune aspects that are occurring this year. Both the outer planets are in the 29th anaretic degree.
Wow.
Uranus is at 29 Taurus and Neptune is at 29 Pisces. And additionally, this aspect's helped to form the kite, which we spoke about last month.
Right.
So that's part of that, because it's this big sextile. And when you've got outer planets making aspects, you can more frequently get those major aspect patterns that develop because everyone's hanging on.
And they're so slow moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you've got anything at 29 Taurus or 29 Pisces, you will feel this a little more than the average person. Yeah.
Oh.
So that's just a by the way. And my keywords for this is genius illusions.
Mm.
So is this pie in the sky ideas that one may have that, but build a better mousetrap things.
Right. But I mean, it's the planet of glamour and illusion, but also of, art and excitement. Yeah. And mixed with the innovative, exciting, lightning striking kind of energy of Uranus. So it could be amazing.
It's a nice aspect, actually. It's a nice aspect.
Sextile is always the positive side of that combination. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And then when we get to November 22nd, the sun enters Sagittarius.
Yeah.
So here I'm saying explore more. It really is the Sagittarians coming forward.
Yeah.
So as the sun enters Sagittarius, the urges to be free and explore the world is strong now. All travel is favored. Educate yourself about something interesting so you will in turn be more fascinating yourself this month.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I was just speaking with someone actually an hour ago, and he works on one of these. It's a train where it's like a dinner train, kind of like a tourism train.
Yeah.
And he is a server on this train. He works 7 months out of the year. He makes a year's worth of salary in 7 months. And then it shuts down for the winter. And I said, it's because it goes to Whistler and, it's up in the mountains. And I said, is that because of the snow? Is that why it shuts down? And he said, no, it's because of the dark. Like there's nothing to look at out the window. It's a tourism train. And I was like, oh my God, that's so interesting. So what do you do for the, all those other months of the year? And he said, well, I used to stay in Vancouver, but I spend so much more money if I stay in Vancouver than if I just travel. And I was like, really? I mean, we know Vancouver.
We know what that is. It is.
He will literally go to, Colombia, Nicaragua, Vietnam, Thailand, all these wonderful places and spend so much less money than if he just stayed in Vancouver the whole winter. So
I can believe it.
Yeah. And I just thought, what a lovely,
lifestyle.
And he's I think a bit older than me even. So actually maybe 10 years older than me. And this is, he kind of jokes with his clientele on the train that this is his, his retirement gig. It's not, but this is a way to keep it light kind of, but it's kind of a lovely way to live if you're not tied down by family obligations, etc.
Wow.
Unmarried. And I just thought, wow, I kind of had a brief second of envy for that lifestyle and then realized like, no, I would never want to live that way at all. But it's kind of a neat thought. Right. And now he's off to some adventure for the next several months.
Wow. Yeah, so interesting.
Sagittarius.
Yeah, sun in Sagittarius. So they call it Sagittarius season, which is a bit crazy. But anyway, it's, sun in Sagittarius, And then on November 28th, Saturn is stationing direct.
Yeah.
Something's going direct for a change. This is now happening at 25 Pisces. So here I'm suggesting stay on track now. Saturn stationed direct in Pisces, and so now you're more likely to hatch a plot. However, you need to be a little constrained in your vision to find something that is both achievable and practical.
Yeah.
Because it is still in Pisces, which is the dreamer.
Yeah. Very un-Saturnian.
Un-Saturnian, but you hatch your plot by all means. Yeah. Have a dream by all means, but add a dash of reality to all projects which you launch now.
Mm-hmm.
So here you've got this combination again of Saturn is now getting stronger because it's going directly, which is a great thing. In Pisces, it'll soon, of course, move into Aries, but you've still got that dream, to get something done, or let's do this or let's do that. Yeah. What I'm saying is try and stay on track and reality. But of course, we need our dreamers, don't we?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
We absolutely do. Yeah. Okay, then towards the end of the month, on November the 29th, Mercury's stationing direct at 20 Scorpio. So Mercury's full retrograde period is happening in November.
Yes.
Across Sagittarius into Scorpio.
Yeah.
Then it goes direct here on the 29th at 20 Scorpio. Yeah. So here I'm saying clarity of thought now.
Yeah.
Ideas released can develop to their full potential now as Mercury turns direct in Scorpio. They may not be acted upon just yet, but the concepts can be threshed out and firmed up.
Yeah. And it'll still be in that shadow phase until it reaches the
absolutely
the degree of Sagittarius where it moved to retrograde.
That's true.
But this is better. It's
better now. Yeah.
Forward. Yeah.
And I'm also suggesting discuss opinions and listen more than you speak.
Mm-hmm.
Do we ever do that? I mean, the idea is that you can, your full potential of your ideas and thoughts can come forward now. And this is a great thing. It really is. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
But as you say, it's just got to pull through that shadow period of the retrograde. But interestingly, it's all happening in November. So we're going to get it all done and dusted in November across Sagittarius, Scorpio.
Yeah. And I really love that combination of signs of Sagittarius and Scorpio, because it is so investigative and so curious. Those two signs are so intellectually curious in very different ways. Yes. One is more an emotionally based sort of investigation for the purposes of getting to the truth and sussing out the actual, like, what is really going on beneath the surface. And the Sagittarian is just so much more expansive and wanting to know a little bit about everything or a lot about everything.
Yeah.
And wanting to know, like, the deeper why, the why, not just what happened and who did what to whom, but wanting to know why and what do we do about it. And it's just such a neat dichotomy of those two signs.
Yeah. And this happens, of course, every November, right? When we get to this thing where people start thinking, I've got a brilliant idea. And maybe you have, and maybe you'll launch it in the new year. Right. But this is where ideas are hatched.
Yeah.
Definitely during this period. And Saturn's there as well to help. Bring that forward.
I think it was Patton Oswalt who said something. Just I'm going to misquote this terribly, but it's something about ideas are like mushrooms. They grow in the deep and dark dankness of the basement, and you need to. You can't have, like, all of the great ideas while it's beautiful and sunny and you're out, like, enjoying the world and socializing and going to the beach every day.
Yes.
These ideas, they happen in the winter, in the dark, when you're alone and you're, kind of focusing in on yourself. And that's why, the winter months are so fraught with the cultivation of new ideas and these things that bubble to the surface in darkness and in cultivating silence.
And then the fruit comes out, isn't it? Because that is the fruiting body, isn't it? Yes. Yeah. Great. Mm-hmm. And then finally, November 30th, Venus enters Sagittarius. So Venus is getting on board as well.
Yeah.
So here I'm suggesting love is all around.
Ah, yeah.
You could find yourself blowing through your budget in a simply spectacular way as Venus, the money planet, enters Sagittarius. Impulse purchases will be tempting. That will be, from November onwards. And expect some larger expenses to pop up, which you probably can cope with if you curbed any unnecessary splurging earlier in the month. Mm-hmm. But now it's Venus is in Sagittarius. We're buying. We're not only buying stuff, we're buying into love as well. So that's Venus. So also in November, Venus has gone through the whole of Scorpio.
Yeah.
It was in Libra. It went all the way through Scorpio, lickety split. Now it's moving out at the very tail end and going into Sagittarius.
Yeah, doesn't that also correspond with the post-US Thanksgiving shopping weekend?
Oh, Black Friday. I don't know
when around then.
I don't know when that is, but probably yes.
The day after U.S. Thanksgiving, whatever day that is.
Yeah. So
right around then.
This is it. So Venus in Sagittarius, blowing your money. Yeah.
So November is an interesting month. We're coming out of kind of a reflective sort of scorpionic phase of autumn, and November is still solidly autumn, even though it may feel kind of wintry.
Yeah.
And it's not winter until December 21st, which feels very wintry. But then there's a whole 3 more months to go, as I always complain. But November is solidly autumn, and it's after Halloween. It's after Dia de los Muertos. Oh, Yeah.
And yet it's before the silly season starts.
Exactly. So
it's like the mid month of autumn. So the harvest is underway.
Yeah.
And we're still not only harvest, but personally.
It's really, I mean, October is it's still kind of the tail end of, okay, so especially in Vancouver, let's just say this is where we are. So October seems like it's almost an adjacent thing to summer still. It's, we're still kind of, wearing lightweight jackets. We're still planning for Halloween. Halloween is often wearing kind of like cool, elaborate, skimpy outfits and, planning cool parties and things like that. And then winter, like November is really the first solemn autumn month where you're actually kind of nesting now. You're actually kind of planning like dinner parties indoors where there's no outdoor component. There's no pretense of like, oh, well,
it's too cold.
Yeah, it's cold, it's rainy, whatever. And here's planning, elaborate dinner parties where everyone brings a thing, or
potlucks,
exactly, that sort of thing.
Yeah. And I think we move indoors, don't we?
We really do, yeah. Like in earnest. October, there's still this like, it's, fun, like pumpkin spice lattes. But November, that's really, it's the most autumn of all the months, really.
Yeah, yeah. Because in October, I can still get down to the beach and spend an hour at the beach and sitting there on the bench enjoying the seascapes. But November, you think twice about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's darn cold.
I find October is very much about Halloween. It's about Halloween, really. There's this whole lead up. There's always like, for me anyway, there's Inktober.
Pinktober. We name it Tober. We've got it.
So we're busy. But then November, you're like, oh, what do we do?
Yeah.
And it's too early to really start planning Christmas stuff yet, but is it? Not really.
Well, yeah. I don't like to get my decorations up till December, but I like to have them organized.
Yeah.
And you got to start thinking of these things.
So it is hilarious how COVID kind of moved that up. It's like, it's just after Halloween. Let's just start Christmas right now.
Yes.
But officially it should not begin until after American Thanksgiving, which is the last week of November, for sure.
So it's a November because of the weather, and the seasonality of autumn is actually, it's brisk. You can go out. It's a crisp day.
Yeah.
But you don't have to start thinking, hey, I need my big coat. I better put my earmuffs on and I need my gloves.
Yeah.
And whereas in winter, you can't step out without your gloves. You need double hats on here.
Yeah.
Because it's so cold.
Yeah.
But November, you can still get away with it. And I do think in that way, it's a way to get all your planning ahead for the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because there's always something, even though we said we're downsizing Christmas, you are still having to attend to end of the year events.
Yeah. And most people aren't going on vacation in November.
No.
It's not a big vacation kind of month.
Yeah.
It's not a big wedding month. It's not a big holiday month.
No.
There's not a lot of
it's
kind of
starting
events
to nest.
happening. It's nesting.
Yeah.
Doing
either indoor projects or art projects. We're probably working on those.
Yeah.
Crocheting, which is, I'm back into that now because we've moved away from the heat into the.
Yeah. Put away all the, summer clothes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And bought the new wardrobe and everything.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. The spring, what's the word? The school wardrobe, the September, that whole thing. Everything's, kind of settled in. And now we've got a month where we can kind of like just relax and nest and enjoy and sink in before starting to think about the holidays.
Because I know in December you've got all those Christmas fairs going on.
Christmas
you've got
parties.
Little events in the city.
Yeah.
People having events left, right, and centre. You've got things going on at work. And what have you, and family gatherings. Of course, there's always what are we going to do and who's doing the cooking, because someone's cooking,
right?
Whereas November, I think it's more of a time for yourself, to be honest.
Yeah.
To that Sagittarian, well, let me see what I can explore.
Yeah.
So maybe get down to the libraries, and do a little traveling before it really gets too cold.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
And in November, it's a great time to start thinking about gifts you might be wanting to get for people.
Yeah.
For the silly season.
Yes. So, for example, if you have a friend or loved one of any kind, or if you yourself are an aficionado of art, specifically badass goddesses or pinup mythology or, that kind of thing, check out MsPink.net, because I will be not at the time that this podcast goes out, but very soon after, I will be selling my 2026 Badass Goddesses calendar.
And what is this calendar?
Wow.
Where did the art come from?
It will be 12 goddesses culled from my Pinktober monthly challenge thing, annual challenge
that we did in October, right?
In October, yes,
okay.
Exactly. So
the original artworks?
Yes, original artwork done one drawing a day. I'll be refining my favorite 12 and
curating.
Yeah, and picking 12 badass goddesses that can take us into the new year.
So this is great. So this is a physical calendar that we can hang on the wall.
Printed calendar.
And I know, and I have to say, Arwynne, I've had this calendar, I think, for the past, 4 or 5 years, which is great. The current one's still hanging in my kitchen with your original artwork.
Yes, and I always go to this local printer, Minuteman Printing. I love them. They every time I call them, they're like, "Oh, the badass goddesses!" They're so excited, and
they're in Vancouver.
They're in Vancouver. Yeah, they're down on House Street. I literally can walk straight from our apartment right down to their 15-minute walk, and they're awesome. So
And they look after you, and it's full color.
Full color, yes. And you can put it on your wall in your kitchen, as many of my friends do, or right above your office desk like I do, so I can look at it every single day.
Yeah. As I said, I've got mine in the kitchen, and it's all goddesses. It's all female figures, basically.
Yeah.
And then there's a little information about the particular goddess and what she stood for.
Yeah, exactly. So, for example, I mean, they're not all goddesses. Some of them are female mythical creatures. For example, the mermaid is one of them.
Right.
The siren is another. The Gorgon, like Medusa. So, they're not specifically goddesses, but there are many goddesses. Athena. And, some Orishas from Western Africa, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I like to sort of, explore the entire globe and have a little bit from each area of the world. So
inclusive.
That we're not, yeah, exactly.
This is great because I've even got, I have got one hanging up somewhere of one of your previous calendars because each year you do new goddesses, which I really like.
Yeah.
And you've got goddesses who I've never heard of.
Yeah. I mean, many of them I've never heard of when I started researching it. I just thought, oh, that looks cool.
It's super interesting. And ultimately, all of these calendars over all of these years will go into a compendium, which will be coming in a couple of years.
Well, I already do have a book of 49 of them, which is my Badass Goddesses available from Amazon. You can either search Badass Goddesses on Amazon or you can find it via my website. Exactly.
We'll put a link below this podcast episode, right?
Yeah. Of course, one day there will be a new edition because I'm creating more and more of them every year.
Absolutely. And it's great. It really is. It's and Arwynne does beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the colors. I like you put women in a strong position.
Yeah. Well, they're badass, right?
Well, yeah, I suppose that's what it is. They're not just subservient, are they? There's no Cinderellas in your bunch.
No, exactly. They're elemental. They're commanding the forces of the universe. And
so this is what we're saying. Then in November, you're coordinating everything together that was created during October, during Pinktober, and you're bringing it together and to support your business,
curating and fine tuning and fixing it up and packaging it all together in a PDF and getting it all printed.
Glorious.
Yes, it will be available in December for the gift giving season.
Oh, it sounds wonderful.
Plenty of time for the new year.
And it's supporting our channel. We appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Local art, real art. No AI was involved.
No. Everything was crafted by your own fair hand.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's great. So that's a great thing. So that's the type of thing that could be done during November, where it's almost like the culmination of what you did in the year. Mm-hmm. You can tidy it up, box it, and kind of tie a bow on whatever your projects were.
Yeah.
Before we get into the tail end of autumn as we move into December. So November is definitely a time of the year because we're in Sagittarius where you're going to broadcast it and you're going to share it with the world, whatever it is you've been tinkering away at.
Yeah.
And Arwynne's been doing calendars, which is great. And you, as our listeners, may have been doing something else. And this is your moment to get it all together. And during 100%. November. Yeah. As these planets are aligning up and moving forward through Sagittarius, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, so this has been great. We've been looking at the November 2025 Overarch. We've been looking at planets that are changing signs. We've been looking at planets that are stationing either direct or retrograde. We've also looked at the lunations, which is the new and full moons. And we've spoken about how all these planetary shifts are going to be expressed in general for everybody during November. So it's the overarch of where the shift is going. So if you have found value in this episode, please do consider sharing it with anybody who'd be interested. Make sure you're getting our newsletter, and you can sign up at starzology.com/newsletter. And then additionally, make sure you're getting Arwynne's newsletter, and you can find her at...
I am at mspink.net. That's Ms. Pink, MSPINK. I am on Substack, and I send out my weekly newsletter every Saturday.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's a great read, absolutely.
Thank you.
So thanks everyone so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Thanks so much for getting this far through the episode. I just want to take a moment to tell you about the two main options of my astrology services. So the first one is coaching. If you are an aspiring astrologer, and by that I mean someone who's perhaps a hobbyist astrologer, or someone who's learning astrology, or a student, or you've got a few books and you've been doing it for a while, but perhaps you need a little bit of help to bring it all together, then maybe getting some astrological coaching from me would be the answer for you. The astrology coaching I offer is a 1-hour session on Zoom, and it's tailored to answer your particular questions. For example, if you have issues with natal chart readings, we can go there. Or if you're having problems working with your forecasting, we can go there. Or even basic astrology stuff, or even getting yourself organized for your astrology business. The idea is that astrological coaching will answer your particular questions. It's tailored specifically to you and where you are in your astrological journey. And I'm happy to help you out with some guidance about how you can get going, what to focus on, and what to dismiss. So that would be the astrological coaching for people trying to learn astrology. The second astrological service I offer is consultations. So this is for someone who perhaps doesn't know anything about astrology, but they just want to have their chart read or get their chart done. Call it what you will. So once more, this is a 1-hour consultation over Zoom. I will interpret your chart, tell you about the main features, tell you about where the energy is flowing, and all the rest of what is entailed in a thorough natal chart interpretation. I can also add in some forecasting in there too, bearing in mind we only have 1 hour. So just in summary, I've got coaching for people who want to learn astrology, and I've got consultations for those who want to get an astrology reading done. I'm Alison Price from Starzology.com. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.